Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Witch Queen Season of the Seraph intel. Now, if you're like me, you're probably already looking towards the end of the season and Lightfall as things get a little bit boring at this time of the year. Not only is it kind of the end of the season, but it's also the end of a whole year's DLC. So Witch Queen is really wrapping itself up. We have Grandmaster Nightfalls now available, which really signals the end of any season, at least for me. But like in all seasons, there is always something special. And because of something that's available this week, I thought it was prevalent that we should all talk about the best ways to farm out exotics heading into the endgame materials, as well as XP for your weapons crafting, and or maybe you're just trying to finish out a season's pass, although I'm sure most people have that done at this point. Maybe you're trying to get a little bit more power to, I don't know, maybe get into some of those Grandmaster Nightfalls, even though the power has been dropped, of course, now to 1595. But I'm going to discuss all the best ways to farm out XP as well as exotics and some glitches that will help you do both. This week is probably the last best week to do any of these things, as most of them will be leaving us at the end of the season, or at least one will definitely be leaving us at the end of the season. So best take advantage of it now. I'm actually not sure if we're going to have it again by the end of the season, maybe one more time, but never in a week like we have right now. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future content on this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and I do one every 1,000 subscribers. I think we're about 200 away the time of posting this, so you never want to miss out. And of course, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into the next giveaway a second time for this video. And remember, I do that secret hashtag on all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Xur is also in town, and though everything is kind of meh this week, there is one thing that you should definitely pick up. This really broken roll on the Dead Man's Tale. It has Vorpal Weapon. I can't even remember the last time Vorpal Weapon was available from the Dead Man's Tale through Xur. It was definitely a few months ago, so pick it up. It's definitely one of the best perks, if not the best perk to have on Dead Man's Tale, and it also has a couple of other good things like Full Bore. So pick it up if you don't have it. Definitely a really broken exotic. One of a kind. The other thing that is 100% the best exotic farm that you can do right now is the Grandmaster Nightfalls, if you can do them. Even if you can just do the normal Master Nightfalls. It's the Insight Terminus. It's double loot this week, so it's double exotic. Sometimes you get 2 exotics plus 2 Ascendant Shards. It's pretty crazy, and the Insight Terminus is definitely one of the easiest strikes in the Grandmaster rotation this season. The only other one that's going to be as short or relatively as short is the Warden of Nothing, and I don't think we're going to have another double loot week by the end of the season. Maybe we will, but in any case, definitely farm out the Insight Terminus this week. I made a video at the beginning of the week on all the glitches and cheeses that you can use in this one to make it a whole lot shorter, or if you're doing this solo on any difficulty, but maybe you're just going for the 100K, you can actually get that done very easily on the heroic level just because of some points stacking and points farming that you can do at one specific point. Anyway, the whole thing is pretty straightforward. And the great thing also about this particular strike is there is no champions in the boss encounter. There's a few really good places that you can stand to avoid all the damage or most of the damage, especially if you're doing it in a group or solo, and it's just a great farm. So definitely do it. Again, no champions in the boss encounter. That makes things so much easier. It's a really straightforward strike, old strike. Most people know how to do it. Farm it out this week, and of course go and check out my video from the beginning of the week if you want any of those glitches and cheeses that you can use for this particular Grandmaster Nightfall to make the whole farm in less than, I don't know, 10 minutes. The other awesome thing, and I'll do a brief run through on how to do this again, because I always get people asking me about specifics on where I should stand, where I should go, how I activate this particular farm. But this week we have the In the Deep mission available again. Now this is on I believe, a 4-week rotation. So I don't know if we're going to have it again before the season launch of Lightfall, maybe one more time. But in any case, unfortunately, I do believe that this is leaving us at the end of the season. This mission will no longer be available. I don't even know if this content is going to be available. It's very unfortunate. So if you want the absolute easiest XP farm in the game, this is how you do it. It's great for weapons farming. It's just good all around. And it's very simple to do and very easy to set up. Maybe you've seen something on my channel talking about this before, as I do try to cover it every single time it comes around, as it's just so good, so easy. But I'm going to take you through a full sort of tutorial on it right now. But that's going to be it for all the information in this video. The rest is just going to be me taking you through this particular mission and showing you how to set up the XP farm. So if you'd like to stick with me for that, please do. Or stick around to the end of the video for that secret hashtag. You can skip to the end right now if you want. Thanks so much for watching to this point, and let's head into the In the Deep. In this mission, like I said, it's very easy to set up this farm. You can do it on all classes. I'm going to do this on my Warlock. I could do this on 2 different subclasses on my Warlock. I could do it on my Solar subclass or on my Void subclass. I'm going to use my Void subclass this time. If I was doing it on my Hunter, I would definitely use the Void subclass, anything that can proc Devour. If you're on a Titan, you can kind of do it on any subclass. The easiest is just to use Sol Invictus, your Solar subclass, and just proc it, and you can just sit there. You don't even have to do anything else. You don't have to set up anything else as far as weapons are concerned. With all the other subclasses, you will need specific weapons. Definitely bring Void if you're going that route, and bring a submachine gun. Really, any submachine gun will do. A Void submachine gun is just better if you're rocking Void. You also have to make sure that you can proc Devour. It's a must. But beyond that, nothing else is really needed. If you're doing this on a Solar subclass, on a Warlock, you might want like Heal Thyself or something like that equipped as far as mods are concerned, but I mean, just use the Void. So you're going to head through the mission like you would normally. And this is a pretty quick mission. I mean, it's not going to take long to get to the point that you need to. And if you actually are willing to restart a character, like if you've never done this mission before, you can actually save the checkpoint at the appropriate farm spot so that you never actually have to run through the mission again. I believe if you leave the mission after you get to this particular point, it will still save the checkpoint for the remainder of the week. But I've heard mixed things on that. It used to work for me that way, but I've heard people say they haven't been able to save the checkpoint. So if you do leave this, you might have to run through this particular spot or this portion of the mission again. But like I said, it's pretty quick. You don't have to take out any of these ads. I'm just going to run past them. Great thing about having Blink. And the requirements of this whole process is fairly simple. You don't have to do anything other than just continue towards the end, and then towards the end they're just not going to leave. We have to do the plates. And if you know nothing about this mission at all, essentially what we're going to be doing is getting to an infinite thrall spawn location. So we're going to get infinite enemies coming at us, and if you do this correctly, you can actually set up a really easy AFK farm. And again, you can do that on all subclasses. Easiest done on a Titan, as I said before, just because of the solar subclass just creates roaring flames that just never stop so long as enemies keep running into them. So you can kind of just start it and then leave. With all the other subclasses, though, particularly the void ones, you will, of course, like I said, need Devour. But you will also need a weapon. A submachine gun is the best option just because it fires so fast and it doesn't have that much recoil, which is going to be the thing that I think is really going to help out the most, as you're going to sort of be doing an infinite fire and you just don't want it to move that often, and you want the recoil to sort of plop back towards the center, which is what submachine guns do, and it lets you just continue the whole farm. I'm taking the scenic route here. Some people set up an infinite farm in this room, actually, though after the point that we're going to be going to. I actually don't like this spot. I think there's better spots, but you could. I'm a little bit lazy. I don't like to run back this far. I just kind of like to stay in the room where we're going to be going to. And hopefully these plates activate as I am standing on you. You really do have to enjoy the void builds for the Warlock. I like all the void builds right now, I have to say. I think solar builds are always a little bit more effective, but nothing is quite as fun as void. Always been my go-to more for PvP than PvE, but I find myself using it more and more for PvE at the moment, at least. So we'll head down here. Now we do have to do this last phase of the mission where we have to just sort of clear out this room. But then at the end, we're going to be scanning this item, and that's going to be an important bit, as that is the checkpoint that you can save. Like I said, if you haven't ever done this before, and you're just able to play through it. I'm still trying to figure out, and I have had some false leads. Maybe someone who's watching this would know, and if you do, please leave a comment down below, how to re-access missions that you've already completed. So far as I know, the only way to re-access missions, if you've completed them already, like this one, is to delete a character. And I know that's sort of a, well, it's not the thing that most people want to do. It is something you can do, or maybe you just haven't created a third character, in which case it's a golden opportunity to set up a checkpoint for this farm, so you can do it whenever you want, at least until the end of the year, or the end of the season, excuse me. And then, you know, you can come in here whenever you want. Otherwise, I think it's just when it's available on rotation if you've done it already, unfortunately. And that's been the way it has been for quite some time. And I'm not positive that this is leaving when Lightfall launches, though I'm pretty sure most of this content is being removed. So that's all of the Shadowkeep content. So in that case, we're going to be, you know, losing all the moon missions. There's a lot of good stuff on the moon that, you know, I hope it goes into the content vault and maybe we get it back at some point. Sort of feels almost too fast that we've gotten the moon back and we're going to be losing it again. Now again, I'm not totally sure if we're losing the moon, but that's what I've thought I've heard. If you've heard different, please let me know in the comments section down below. Because if we're not losing the moon, that's awesome. But I'm pretty sure we're losing it. Okay, so now once we've done all of this, is there another enemy back here just waiting? Yes, this guy. All right. This is the checkpoint. Now, there's a couple of things that you should probably know. One, you have to scan it. Obviously, scan the lectern, and this is to set the checkpoint. Two, don't run out of the room. You're just going to stay here. Three, sometimes you can scan this and it doesn't actually start the endless thrall. The way you fix this is by the way I'm going to do it right now, and I would suggest just doing this every single time you start this or hit this checkpoint just to be safe, is by scanning it and then jumping off the edge after the lights turn dark. So you see the lights turn dark, I'm going to jump off the edge, and that will restart at that particular checkpoint. I'll be able to rescan the lectern, and the infinite thrall will start. One more thing though, once you scan it, like you see I have here, head up to the top area and kill these last three sort of bothersome enemies. This is going to be the spot you're going to want to stand on, but there's these three guys way up here who you want to just make sure are dead first. Where's that last one? There he is. Okay, so the lectern is right there. As you can see, there is a ton of thrall right down below me, just waiting to maul me. I'm going to step on this little ledge, which is on the back side of this rock. You can set up one of these things just to kind of get yourself settled. And then you want to make sure that you have maybe, if you're on a controller, a rubber band. And what I do, because I'm on a controller, is I just take a rubber band around my handle. I'm on an Xbox controller, and the trigger, and you could probably do the same, probably even easier on a PS controller of any kind, and just simply go. You got Devour running. Every single time you reload, it drops the weapon down a little bit so that you can actually start to hit the tops of the enemies again, which procs Devour again. And so long as you can continually proc Devour, you'll just be able to stay here and infinitely spam your submachine gun and gain XP for your weapon, whatever weapon it is. Obviously, you can't be AFK if you're just trying to farm out weapons XP, but you could stand here and get kills all the same. I mean, it's a lot easier if you're just actually aiming. You can see they're coming in. So any particular weapon, any red border weapon, I could aim here. If you're on a Titan, you just proc your Sol Invictus and chill out. If you are using a Titan, I would also recommend using a looped emote to sort of extend the time that you're in here if you are going completely AFK, as you will get kicked to orbit after about 5 to 10 minutes or just standing still, but a looped emote will extend that to about 20, as firing extends it to about 20. And that's really it, guys. Thanks so much for watching all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. So many good farms this week. Please take advantage of them, as they're going to be leaving us fairly soon. And for the secret hashtag, please leave a hashtag in the deep or a hashtag Lightfall, as we're getting really close, and a hashtag, I don't know, Season of the Seraph, I guess we'll still accept. Appreciate everyone who's tuned in, and as always, I am Wilhelm Scream. Of course, we will see you next time.